Hello there, everybody. Welcome. How was y'all's week so far? I hope you guys all had a great week. I'm hoping that you guys liked Elvira, you guys liked Cruella de Vil. We are back today, and today we are doing a Poison Ivy inspired look. I have some Poison Ivy here that smells like fish. It's not real Poison Ivy, obviously, but this should be fun. I'm gonna add this later into my wig and then do all of that sort of jazz. But I'm excited for today. I don't have a lot of facts today. I will be very honest with you guys. I like Batman, but I'm not like die hard. I know, I'm sorry. And there's so many renditions as well of this particular look. I mean, there's the cosplay, there's people who were like in the film, there were people who, you know, just do fan art, all this sort of stuff. So today we're just gonna do a interpretation of it and, you know, talk a little bit about the character herself while creating this one. So I hope you guys enjoy. Let's go ahead and jump into it and get started because I am excited. Alright, so we're going to start off with putting on a face primer first, and then we are going to start making our face green. It is a very time-consuming process for the most part. That's why, as you'll see in this video, I only went to about my neck because it was a lot. So as I'm sitting here dabbing up my face with this green paint, let's do a little bit of talking about Poison Ivy. So Poison Ivy was introduced into the Batman series in episode number 181 of, I guess, the Batman franchise, so to speak. And that was in June of 1966. When they first made Poison Ivy, they modeled her after Betty Page, giving her the same haircut and kind of look. The character was partly inspired by a short story called Rappaccini's Daughter by Nathaniel Hawthorne, and it was about a maiden who tends to a garden of poisonous plants, becomes resistant to the poison, you know, you get the gist. And she was typically kind of depicted as someone who was like barefoot, long flowy hair, plants and vines, you know, all that sort of stuff. And so they listened to this story, read this story, and that was kind of what they wanted to, you know, make her out of. So basically, who is Poison Ivy? So the story starts off with Dr. Lillian Rose, and she's like a promising botanist, and she's persuaded by a guy to kind of assist him in like taking some artifacts. He was kind of afraid that she would kind of like get in the way of this theft process, and so he attempts to poison her with some herbs, which are very deadly and not very traceable, and she ends up surviving this murderous attempt, and by default gets immunity to these natural toxins. There are a few different versions of this story that are kind of all over the place depending on which ones it is that you watch. Like in the revised version, The Secret Origins, which was number 36, which was in 1988. Her name was changed slightly, but the premise kind of stayed the same. Somebody who essentially gets poisoned and ends up kind of getting immunity, and then, you know, the whole thing kind of goes from there for the most part. So let's go ahead now real quick. I got some white paint along with some green paint, and I am just going to mix it all together on my hand and take the same sponge or a different sponge, kind of depends on your preference, and I'm going to start dabbing it underneath my eyes. Essentially, this is going to be a highlight, you know, just a highlight. You could also contour with like green and a little bit of black. I didn't end up doing it, but I just slightly tapped it underneath the eyes to kind of, you know, make myself look a little bit brighter. So continuing with Poison Ivy, she has the ability to control and mutate all forms of plant life on a molecular level. And I don't know, she was just a cool character. She dated a few different people in the series, one being Miss Harley Quinn, and then she also dated Batman as well. On the top 100 comic book villains of all time, Poison Ivy is ranked as number 64. So I thought that was kind of interesting too. But like I said, when it comes to her look, there is a film that is out that has a Poison Ivy rendition. There's also tons of comic books that are out with her in it. There's also, like I said, people who cosplay as her, people who do like fan art and stuff. So there's a lot of versions of Poison Ivy. Today's look, we're just kind of doing a look that, I don't know, I just thought would be kind of fun, you know? So now what I'm doing is I'm going in with a green color, a darker green, and I am using that powder from the eyeshadow palette to just basically green out my cheekbones and my, like, what is it called? The forehead area. I did take some RCMA translucent powder as well and just did that first all over my face, and then now I'm adding the green. I'm kind of doing it in like a splotchy motion almost. I focused with the dark green, like I said, on the cheekbones and on the forehead, but then added some like lighter green all around just to make sure I have some pigment. Now I'm going in with my lovely eyeshadow primer and adding that on my eyelids. I am going to add a little bit of color to the lids and, you know, just make them a little bit of fun. So I'm taking the dark green tone that is in this James Charles palette and I'm putting it all over my, I guess, crease, so to speak, and kind of dragging it out a little bit, giving it a little bit of that sunken eye look, but at the same time, you know, natural. I mean, I am green, am I right? You know what I'm saying? Just darken it out. And then on the lid itself, I am using kind of like that color that's right next to it. It's also a greenish color, but it has a little bit of shimmer, and I thought that that would look really pretty on top. I know this is kind of similar to the Wicked Witch, but I promise you it's a little bit different at the end. I also went ahead and took the Makeup by Mario palette and took the golden color that he has on the palette and added that in my crease. I did add a little bit to the brow bone as well. Little bit, not too much, but that gold really kind of pops and makes it look really pretty in person. It's a very pretty color. Now I'm going in with like a deep green, put that on my underside of my eyes to kind of darken that out. And then I took my Maybelline tattoo brow thing. I don't remember what it's called. Brow pencil, brow gel, that's what it's called, and carved out my brows. I would suggest using, honestly, like maybe even a black tone if you can find one, or even a red wouldn't look too bad, but all I had was brown, so that's what I used. And then from there I added a eyeliner as well. I used a black eyeliner on my look, but of course you can always use a brown, you can use a red. I mean, you can get creative with this look. And then of course popped on some lovely mascara on top, and then you can always add some lashes, but I chose not to because, you know, where was I going? Nowhere. Next we're doing the lips, and on the lips I use this really pretty green color. I think it was called like Sea Witch or something, I don't even know. It was from Sephora, and I'm using it to basically line my lips. And then on the inner part of my lips, I'm going to go ahead and add a red lipstick. I am using my favorite and go-to Miss Kylie Cosmetics and Mary Jo K to the center to kind of give it that ombre color of green and red. On top of the lips from there, I'm using Entranced from Haus Labs and giving it that little bit of glimmer and shimmer. The final steps that I have for this look is my Poison Ivy. I am using the Mehron Spirit Gum to stick a few pieces onto my face. So I just went ahead and I added some Poison Ivy plastic pieces into this wig, a few on my face, and even wrapped one around my neck. I thought that was kind of cute. But I don't have a full outfit, and nor am I going anywhere from my usual. So I don't have any color here, I don't have any color here. But if you were going out somewhere, you would be using the same sort of principles of basically getting yourself all painted and then adding powder on top to make sure that it stays in place. You can use either translucent powder or you can use a colored powder. Since you are green, it's not a bad idea to use a green powder. It only is going to enhance the tones within it. I was having a little bit of difficulty throughout the process to kind of get that full look, but it's a little bit spotty, but it kind of gives me that Poison Ivy, you know, splotchy skin sort of vibe. It's not bad. It can always be better. But yeah, that's the look for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll be back. Please subscribe if you're interested, and if there's somebody that you want to see really bad for Halloween, please let me know in the comments section down below. Other than that, thank you guys again so much, and we'll see you guys in the next video.